Alright, John with Brookside Farm coming at you again. So this here is a John Deere L110 automatic, which just means it's hydrostatic. So this had, well, it's not mine, belongs to a customer. It's parked for a couple of years, and he just wanted me to kind of get it going. Originally, he basically said it was a no start. We found the starter was really bad, like shorted, rusted up. Might have been from so many start attempts, I'm not really sure. We know the battery's basically junk. The battery's from 2020. We are now almost into 2025, so yeah. But anyway, so anytime you have a machine that sits for a long time, you want to, it doesn't matter if it's ran when parked, okay? You want to go through it. And the first thing you want to do is make sure it's going to turn. So, of course, we got the cover off, and you cannot tell. But that is nothing. There was an incredibly huge amount of rat nesting in here. You can see a lot of corrosion on the fins. So we're going to have to address all that. But the problem currently is, we try to turn it over by hand and it stops. Okay? So we know that there's something in the cylinder board that's not quite right. We did go ahead and put our bore camera down in there. And I'll try to pop in a couple of images from that. There's more of that corrosion. But, so we know there's a couple of spots that are a little rusty in there. Nothing really too major. The rings are probably stuck. That would be my guess to be at least starting. I'm thinking there's a valve hung up, probably hung open. So we're going to have to address that too. And then, we go to pop the hood off, and we find that our hood connector is basically melted together. So that's not too good. I'll throw a picture of that in here. So that's where we're at with this machine. And I'm going to finish getting the hood off, get that cylinder head off, and then I'll bring you back and we'll see what we see. Stay tuned. Alright, so it's kind of a side quest here. Yet another problem pretty typical of these machines is this big hoop mounting bracket here that connects between the metal part and the plastic, of course. These little plastic studs break off. This one's broken off on both sides. And we're just going to fix that by putting a couple of nice, beautiful stainless socket head cap screws with a nut on the back side on each side. And that'll make that nice and sexy. I usually spray paint the heads of the bolts John Deere green so they don't stand out too much. So that's how we're going to fix that. Moving on. Alright, well, this is where we're at. We got the valve cover off, and we found is the intake valve was just a little bit stuck. So I just took and we do the tapping the valve trick, and it did free right up. So we're good to go there, I think. And there is an incredible amount of crap still around the fins. We're going to get that all cleaned out. And then we'll carry on. I got the new starter just sitting there. We'll get that bolted up in place. I think we're going to get this ignition coil replaced. It's pretty rotted. Just starting to delaminate. And the wire's been cut, spliced or something, evidently anyway. Assuming it even works, I don't even know if it fires yet because, of course, we haven't, till now, been able to actually spin it over. So, moving on. Alright. Got the bolts in for the hood brackets. They're not painted green yet, but that'll be in the final details before I send this thing back. Meanwhile, got the valve cover, rocker cover, whatever you want to call it. A couple other things over there chooching away in the ultrasonic. Getting cleaned up. And moving on. Okay. Starter's mounted up. Bolts are torqued properly. And yes, I did use a torque wrench. Dragged out the shop vac. And get all that stuff vacuumed out of there. Stuff just came out of the ultrasonic, so I guess now we're going to go ahead and try a reassembly and we'll see how it goes. Now this has automatic compression release, so I don't think I'll really be able to pop a compression test on it, but we'll keep on rolling on. Alright, so got that all back together. I did pull a compression test on it. Showing 130, like 129, 130. Looking pretty good. New starter's in. And it cranks over pretty good. We've got spark. Also, I took and I put light pressure in the fuel tank with like a fitting and a piece of plate. So I cleared out all the fuel line up to there. Now I'm probably just going to drain the carb bowl. And hopefully we'll throw some fresh gas in this sucker and she'll just go ahead and chooch along, and that'll be great. We won't have to put a whole lot more in. I did go ahead and order a new magneto assembly. That one's starting to delaminate. Like I said, plug wire's got a splice in it. You know, it's 25 bucks. Might as well just replace it and be done with it. But let's see what's next. Next up, I'm going to go ahead and do the oil change and get that done. Because I've sprayed solvents and stuff in there. So I'm going to change the oil probably a couple times. I'll change it now. And I'll tell them to change it again pretty quickly. Maybe 10 hours. So, that's what's next. Well, there it is. You know, I didn't get a chance to capture a whole lot of video in between. So, that'll wrap this one up. We didn't know anything about the front tires. They don't hold air very well, but the customer's going to put new tires on himself. So that's going to be out of my realm, along with the battery. Yeah, so he's going to replace the battery, take care of the front tires, and I think he's going to order up an air filter, get that in there. The new magneto did come in. I do just have to find out if he wants me to stuff that in or not. He may not. We'll find out. But that'll only take a couple of minutes. Just a few screws in the cover, pop it off, and one wire, and it's done. And then we'll send this thing down the road on that trailer. I actually am going to deliver it, so that's it. Thanks for watching.